Hey everybody, welcome to the inside of TDSR. That doesn't sound right. The name of my Jeep, 1997 TJ. And today we are inside because hey there, how's it going? We are going to be removing the hardtop from this Jeep for the very first time since I've owned it, which has been about 4 months now. I've been getting some water leaks. I know it's a Jeep, the top leaks, but in this case, it's actually the windshield that leaks. And so I did a quick fix, and I don't know if it's actually a smart move or not, but I put some silicone up around the seal on the outside where the water's coming in. Future project to have the windshield replaced, but I think there's also some oddities with this hardtop, so we're gonna have to see how that goes. So before I get started, I just want to show you what previous owner has left me. There's only 4 bolts, and they're literally bolts with hex nuts underneath them holding the top down. So the center bolt on both sides is just not there. I don't know. So this, I believe, is the original factory hardtop with this 97. And I have no idea when the last time it was actually taken off. My guess is that the weather stripping on both sides is probably pretty nasty. Might be at the header as well. So we're just gonna have to see. I'm kind of nervous taking it off because I'm hoping there's nothing hiding underneath that's gonna scare me or prevent me from putting it back together. But this is what it looks like. And I don't know if I've done a tour of the back of this thing, but it's kind of crazy. Speakers in the sound bar kind of hanging on there, kind of not. Looks like where the soft top hardware would mount, they put some sort of weird plaster or I don't know what into those holes. Who knows why? Maybe to prevent bugs from getting in there. No idea. Great wiring job here. So lots of fun things going on with this Jeep. But anyway, let's get on to taking the hardtop off and see how it goes. Before I take the hardtop off, one thing else to show you, there's this blue towel rag up here over the sound bar, and pretty sure that's to collect water that's dripping. So I don't know if the top actually has a crack in the top, the middle of it. It's one of the things I'm going to be checking out is once I get it on the ground, I'll pour some water over the top of it and see if any comes through and what's going on. See what we find. All right, so we'll start with the easiest parts first. Just undoing the latches here at the header. I'm sure that'll be fine, right? Yep, no problem. Now I know that previous owner didn't hope to hold the top down with the zip tie, but it just cracks me up that it's here, and I'm sure it's just to hold up the wiring that's underneath there since the wire loom is shot. But cut the zip tie. So the 4 1/4-inch head bolts were pretty easy to get out, no problem there. Obviously pretty rusty, but one thing I noticed is that the light for the hardtop is actually works, first of all, but it is hard wired up into the top, so I gotta do the wiring here to be able to take the top off. A previous owner likes to use these types of connectors all over the Jeep, so I just took a guess and pulled this connector down out of the top, and sure enough, these black and white wires were just connected in with these, so pretty easy to pull apart, and now the top should be free to come off. So that blue towel that the previous owner left up over the soundbar makes me think there might be a small leak in this top somewhere, and there's lots of scratches. At least I can't tell if they're actually cracks, so I'm going to dump some water here in the middle and we'll go underneath and see if there's any water coming through. I do not see any evidence of water coming through, and I don't really see any drip marks or something that says it may have dripped in the past. So I don't know what's going on with that. But obviously it's pretty gross under here. So I'm gonna try to flip it over and maybe clean it a little bit. So I flipped the top over to try to clean the inside, and when I did, looking at the exact center of the top, I see this small crack, and I don't know if it goes through or not, but since I'm here and it's right over top of the sound bar, it's easier to go ahead and put a little bit of caulk on it now, and even if it's not leaking, it won't do any harm, so we'll go ahead and do that. And there we go. So if it's leaking, hopefully that'll stop it. So we'll go ahead and put the top back on. Well, that's it for this video. Little anticlimactic maybe. Top went back on about as easily as it came off. I'm gonna get some of those quick thumb screw type bolts for the hardtop, so I don't have to use those 1/2-inch weird rusty bolts that came from previous owner. Might try to figure out a better way to connect the overhead light here on the hardtop so it's not permanently connected like it was, but otherwise, we'll give you a status update here on TDSR. Took it to the shop for a few weeks, and they helped with the rear end. It turned out that the pinion bearing was completely shot, and that was making a lot of the noise back there. So they rebuilt the rear end, and it's in good shape now. I wish I could have done it myself, but it's just not something I can do. And while they were in there, they also replaced the rear main seal for me. Again, requires dropping the transmission and things that I just don't want to have to deal with. So those two things have been taken care of. Lots of projects still to come. I've got to redo the exhaust, lots of things on the inside of the Jeep, work on the heat and the defrost and flushing the heater core and all sorts of good stuff to come. So subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date on how things progress and see where I make some mistakes and maybe learn a few things along the way. I'd appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Take care.